Yo, what's up everybody? It's me, Lasers Go, and today I'm coming at you with a different video. It's not a Let's Talk, it's not a daily vlog. It's going to be my predictions for how the Premier League is going to shape up. If you guys don't know, and I think I've said it before, I'm a big soccer fan, as you can tell, wearing my Arsenal jersey. That is the team that I support over in England. But I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on who's going to win the league, the top four, all that, and then who's getting relegated, and all those types of things. So stick around because I'm going to get right into it. So just a quick recap of last season in the Premier League. Chelsea won the league, Tottenham was second, Manchester City third, Liverpool fourth, Arsenal fifth, Manchester United sixth, and Everton seventh. But Manchester United did win the Europa League, so they automatically qualified for the Champions League. Keep that in mind. So Liverpool are in that qualifying round of the Champions League. The relegated teams were Hull City, Middlesbrough, and Sunderland. So let's get right into this season. I just want to give you a quick update. The promoted teams. It was Brighton Hove Albion, Huddersfield Town, and Newcastle United. They were promoted from the Championship, and I will talk probably about them in a little bit. It's probably towards the end of this video is about who's going to get relegated. But let's talk about who I think will win the league and the top four, maybe five, now that all the big clubs are starting to become the big clubs again. So who do I think is going to win the league? Wearing this jersey, you can probably expect I'm going to say Arsenal, but I'm not. I actually think Manchester United will win the league this year. The addition of Lukaku, Paul Pogba, I think will play a lot better. You know, Ander Herrera was great last season. I think Martial will finally start to play well, and I think that team is just a really good team. And Nemanja Matic, I forgot about him. Nemanja Matic, I think, is a good player for them. Not worth the amount of money they paid for him, but I think he's going to be a really important player for them. Also, if Zlatan Ibrahimovic comes back mid-season for Manchester United and re-signs with them, that's going to be huge. If they could have Lukaku and Ibrahimovic as a 1-2 punch up front, I think it'll be great. The jury's still out on if Lukaku can do it for the big teams against the big clubs consistently. I personally think they paid a little bit too much for Lukaku, but when we talk about someone else, another striker that got paid a lot of money for, the comparison and the money, Lukaku actually seemed like a good deal. All right, so let's go to 2 through 4. Who do I think is going to be 2 through 4? I think number 2 is going to be Chelsea. I think they'll become runners-up this season. Third, I think will be Manchester City. Fourth, I think will be Arsenal in their typical fourth position. I think Arsenal will recover from that fifth place, finish last season and figure out a way to get back into Champions League qualifying. With the addition of Lacazette, Sead Kolasinac, hopefully Thomas Lemar, maybe another defender, Arsenal look in good shape. Let's go up the table. I said Manchester City 3. And Lotus, I left out Tottenham. We'll talk about that in a second. But Manchester City 3. I think Manchester City is going to be great this season. Bernardo Silva is a great addition. Kyle Walker, very good Premier League proven right back. Benjamin Mendy from AS Monaco on the left back spot. That's going to be a great addition as well. I think Sergio Aguero and Gabriel Jesus, especially with Leroy Sané up top as well, that's going to be such a good attacking trio. You can't discount David Silva, Yaya Toure, who hopefully comes back to form. Just as a soccer fan, you kind of want to see that. And I forgot Ederson from Benfica, the goalie. I think he'll be great as well. A young keeper for the future for them. Joe Hart obviously went out to West Ham, and Claudio Bravo was terribly trash for them last season. So I expect Manchester City to be good this season. I don't think they'll win the league. I don't know when they'll win the league again, but I do expect them to be at least in that top 3. And Chelsea at number 2, I think the signing of Alvaro Morata is paying way too much, and it was almost like a panic buy where they lost out on Lukaku, supposedly lost out on Lukaku and decided we need a striker because Diego Costa does not want to stay. And so they went and they just found the first good available striker they could find, and that was Morata. They paid a lot of money for him. If you watch the Community Shield, of course he missed his penalty. If you follow me on Twitter, I kind of made fun of that, but I just think paying that much for Alvaro Morata is ridiculous because he's played at 2 big clubs. He's played at Real Madrid and Juventus. He was great at Juventus. Real Madrid, I don't know. Can you do it in the Premier League? Will the physicality of that league, get to him? Maybe. He played at Juventus, though, in the Serie A, Calcio A, whatever you want to call it. It's notoriously strong, so we'll see about that. Now, I left out Tottenham, who were runners-up last season, and I think that they're going to finish 5th. And that's just not because I hate Tottenham, but I really do think they might finish 5th. Honestly, I could probably swap them and Manchester City around if I wanted to. I do think they're better than Arsenal, but losing Kyle Walker, not having a real established any winger really, aside Heung-min Son. Heung-min Son's great, but a right winger, they don't really have an established one. Their midfield's good. Of course, you know, Eriksen running the midfield, Dele Alli there. Striker, great. Harry Kane. Goalkeeper, great. Hugo Lloris. Defense, great. So we'll see. I think Tottenham, I just think they're going to struggle more than they did the past 2 seasons, where they should have won the league probably one of those last 2 seasons. I was at an Orlando City game back when I lived in Orlando. My friend and I were talking to a Tottenham fan, and he said it best. You know, Tottenham are on pace to have their best season ever and still lose the league to Chelsea, which is typical Tottenham, of course. You know, do all the great things, lose anyway. So I think they might finish 5th or 3rd, but I'm going to solidify on record here. I think they're going to finish 5th. All right, so that brings us down to 6th, which I think will be Liverpool. I think they're going to have a major problem with defense. I couldn't sign Virgil van Dijk, so I think on defense they're going to be really lacking. They have 2 iffy goalkeepers, Mignolet, Karius. If Coutinho leaves, it's going to be a big loss. So I just think they have a lot of good pieces. I trust Jurgen Klopp at least a little bit, but I think they're going to finish 6th. I think they'll be right outside that top 4, even that top 5. And then I get from my dark horse to maybe upset one of those teams up in the top 4, even the top 5, and knock them out, and that is Everton. Now, it's no secret Everton has been spending a lot of money. I could try to name all these signings. Actually, I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to read it off to you. All right, so here are the new signings that came into Everton this summer. Jordan Pickford, Michael Keane, Davy Klaassen, Sandro Ramirez, and Wayne Rooney. Now, at the time of recording this, Gylfi Sigurdsson has been reportedly basically really close to moving to Everton, so he might have already signed by the time you see this. But Gylfi Sigurdsson also apparently going to Everton for almost $50 million. Everton have a great squad, a lot of experience and youth mixed in, so we'll see if they can jump up into those next levels. I think they might be able to, but such a lot of new players, crucial new players, is going to take time for them to gel. I just think when they start gelling, it's going to be a little bit too late. All right, now let's talk about those 3 newly promoted teams, Brighton Hove Albion, Huddersfield, and Newcastle. Out of the 3, I think Newcastle might be able to survive just because they're Newcastle. It feels weird that they weren't in the Premier League last season, so I think they'll survive comfortably. I do think Huddersfield and Brighton Hove Albion will both go back down to the Championship next season. Who do I think will join them? I'm just going to go out. I'm looking at the teams that are in the Premier League right now, and admittedly, I have not looked too far into this yet, but just off a first glance, Burnley. I think Burnley will go down with them. If they stick around, cool. I just think those 2 of the 3 newly promoted teams are almost, in my mind, a lock to go back down to the Championship. And just so this doesn't go too long, I'll just go quickly down and say who I think will win the awards in the league this season. Top scorer, I think that's going to be Harry Kane again for the 3rd time in a row. That man's on fire. I used to be a Harry Kane doubter, but I really do think he's great. So Harry Kane, I think, will have the most goals this season. Player of the year, I'm going to go Paul Pogba. I think he will rebound from a so-so debut year and have a great year in the 2017-2018 season, so I'm going Paul Pogba. Young player of the year, I said it last season, and somewhere, I think it was on Twitter, on a blog or somewhere, I said it last season, but I think this season it'll be Alex Iwobi from Arsenal. He looked great in preseason. I said that again last season as well, but I think it'll be Iwobi. He has so much potential. He just needs to be able to score goals. So if he can do that this season, Alex Iwobi will win the Young Player of the Year. Manager of the season, I think it'll be Ronald Koeman, especially if Everton can get into the top 4. Otherwise, I think it will be Jose Mourinho if Manchester United wins the league. But yeah, guys, that's it for me today. Those are my predictions for the 2017-2018 Premier League season. If you like these types of videos, leave me a comment down below and let me know. Also, let me know your thoughts about the Premier Leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.